Hello, this is Mr. Red Fox, and this video is just going to be me talking about some of the things that I've been thinking about, and just things that I wouldn't put into a podcast, but I just want to talk about. So with that being said, let's get to it after the cut. So, basically, once again, Bethesda has released a game that is fundamentally broken, and, you know, they're fixing it after the fact, and the game is still, like, not very good, you know, and I'm talking about Fallout 76. Bethesda hasn't released, like, a game made by Bethesda proper, okay? I don't mean, like, published by Bethesda, I mean made by Bethesda. They have been releasing broken, busted up games for years, and no one ever says anything. No one's ever like, hey man, this isn't cool. I don't think that's right. You know? Because let's keep it real, okay? If you went, well, let me put it this way. I consider video games to be a product, a consumable product. The only difference between video games to me and, you know, a car or, you know, a steak, is that, you know, video games, typically speaking, are cheaper than a, you know, if let's say a AAA game is $60, okay? If you bought a $60 steak, that would be a damn good steak. But let's continue the food analogy, okay? You spent $60 on a meal at a fine restaurant, okay? $60 you spent, and the food that you're getting is trash. Like, oh no, the food, the steak is good, but when they bring, you know, you get an entree, you get appetizer, entree, and dessert, okay? The appetizer comes and it's a salad, and what do you find in this salad? But a big ass cockroach. Alright? That's basically Bethesda's games. And then not only do you find a cockroach next door, a cockroach in the salad, but someone sitting across from you at another table says, yeah, there's cockroaches in all the salads, but don't worry, well, here, I brought some salad from home that you can replace that salad with. And that'll fix you up. No one seems to just hold these people accountable for what their problems are. People just let it go. It's like, well, you know, I like Bethesda. You know, I like their games. And let's be honest, most of the people who like Bethesda games don't like the games themselves. They like what modders, which are, you know, enthusiastic hobbyists do in order to make these games better. And, I mean, if you're, okay, modding is cool if you're taking something old and broken down and kind of back in the day. It's not cool to it's not cool for something that just came out. The only way it can be enjoyed is by modding it. You know, Bethesda was doing the PlayStation, the PS Classic before Sony did. Because basically that's what Bethesda games are. They're games that by themselves are okay, but kind of disappointing once you get into the nitty-gritty of it. But then you get to, like, you know, you get out of the nitty-gritty and you discover, oh, this is trash. And the only way this can be enjoyed is by a third party who is not involved in any of this to make it better. That's not acceptable. You know, like, no other product could enjoy that type of bullshit. Like, you know, if you bought I mean, back to the food analogy, if you went to a restaurant and you ordered a meal and your meal was fucked up, you wouldn't think that it's okay that, you know, someone sitting at the table next to you is like, hey, you can take it to my house and I'll cook it up for you. I'll make it better. No, that's not acceptable. And yet, we accept this from Bethesda. We accept this from a lot of companies, actually. It's not just Bethesda. You know, the people who made No Man's Sky, You know, a lot of developers, they come out with a game that's fundamentally fucked up, and gamers give them a pass when they fix it. Now, I'm not saying you should be like, well, nice try, but you need to do better, you know, fuck you. But acknowledge that they fucked up the first time and that this is not normal. They shouldn't get a pass because, oh, well, you know, they did this. I mean, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable and it's not cool. And hopefully things will get better, but probably not, because no one wants to deal with the elephant in the room, which is this shit is just fucked up and it's not right. So, next topic after the cut. So, there's an old Southern saying that goes like this: it's a sad rat that only has one hole to run to. And basically, the gist of this particular saying is that you need to have multiple options when shit's about to go down. You know, when you only have one option and when that option's cut off, you're fucked. But if you have multiple options, you're in good shape. Well, I mean, in gaming, you also should have multiple holes to run to. The reason I'm saying this is because over and over, repeatedly, we're seeing, like basically if all you have is a PS4 or an Xbox One or just the PC or just the Switch, you're not in a good shape right now. I mean, it's not a good thing to only have one console. You should at least have two. Best case scenario, have all three in a PC. But, you know, if you have, you know, a Switch in the PC, you're good. If you have this in the PC, you're good. But if you just have, like, nothing, oh man, this is not a fun time to be a gamer. If you only have one console, because all of them are doing fucked up shit. Microsoft's doing fucked up shit, Sony's doing fucked up shit, Nintendo's doing fucked up shit. It's kind of like everyone's messing up. You know, sadly. I mean, I wish this wasn't the case, but unfortunately, that's what's going down. You know, it is what it is. And I know some people will disagree. They'll be like, well, I don't, you know, that doesn't bother me. And, you know, people always do that. They're like, well, you know, I don't mind, you know, just having this one console. And, you know, good for you. But here's what I'm going to say, okay? Even if you don't mind having the things, if you only game on one system, you're cutting yourself off from other gaming opportunities. Even back in the day, if you only had a Nintendo console, after the fourth gen, you weren't getting any real RPGs for a Nintendo system. At least not AAA RPGs for the system. Maybe AA and single A, but nothing AAA. And that's just how it was back in the day, you know? You know, if you had a PS2, you weren't getting like really strong second party games like you were on the GameCube. You weren't getting it, okay? So, you know, it behooved you to actually have multiple platforms that you played on, you know, at least two. So, you know, I mean, I'm just saying people need to do that shit, you know? Have other avenues of gameplay instead of just one, just to make yourself happy. So that being said, we'll get to my conclusion after the cut. So, in conclusion, this short little video was just me having a little mini rant about the modern vagrancies of gaming. Wednesday's podcast will be a special cast where I'm going to be talking about the future of gaming, what we think the future of gaming should be. Saturday's cast is going to be viewer requested cast, so, you know, whatever you like, we'll talk about it. So with that being said, that's the end of the that's the end of this video. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. You can reach me via Gmail. In the description section, you'll see that. Discord, in the description section, you'll see that. Twitter, @me at mrredfox91. It's all good. Peace, good night, and arrivederci.